fire. Hello, pretty people. All the pretty people say hi, Jerusha. It's Friday. It's Friday. Yes, the best day of the week. Yes, if you are a business owner, you love Friday, Saturday, and Sunday because that's when you get your business on. Yes, hello, gorgeous. Say hi, Jerusha. All the pretty people speak to me. Hello, gorgeous. Good to see you too. And so it's Friday. Hashtag to all the pretty people. What that means, you're pretty in the insides. And so the pretty people community is all of you. We celebrate, collaborate, and create great relationships. And so if you are pretty, hashtag pretty people, all the pretty people. Yes. So I certainly, Cassandra in the building. Hello, Cassandra. I enjoy sharing, what I know for sure, business tips, motivation, inspiration. This is the page for you. And so, yes, if you love this type of content, girl, make sure that you follow, tag two people, share the broadcast. If you watch the replay, put replay. But you and I just became besties if you tag two people, because I don't want to be the best kept secrets. All of this goodness. Yes, thank you so much for the hearts and the love. Heart me up, girl. Yes, and so listen, what are your business plans for this weekend? I want to hear about it. Tell me what you have planned already, because if you don't have a plan, you work for somebody who has a plan. So you got to have a plan of action every single day. If you missed the broadcast the other day, you missed a good one. We talked about some organization skills, and the day before that, Instagram and all the tools, AI, Chat GPT. And so you got to make sure you go back, watch the replay, put replay, because this is where it goes down. Yes. Hello, gorgeous. Yes, Miss Williams in the building. Hello, Miss Jacqueline is in the building. Letitia is in the building. Hello, gorgeous. Good to see your beautiful faces. Yes, heart me up. Oh, I love you. Thank you so much. I love you too. And so if you love my energy, I love your energy too, that you show up. I'm appreciative for that. So let's talk about it. So what do you have going on this weekend? Are you working your business? I would like to know, if you have a business, put business in the chat. If you want a business, put yes in the chat. If you already have a business, put business. If you want a business, put yes, I need a business. So if you're joining me, I'm Jerusha, motivational speaker, radio personality, business coach, and I help people build their businesses online and offline. So I create what I call double threats. And so I basically teach you how to leverage and monetize social media. And that's what it's all about. We're not on here just posting and praying. We're posting and profiting. Yes, yes. Say yes, Jerusha. So you want to build a big business. Yes, put business if you have a business, and put yes if you want a business. And so if you don't know, my background is actually in radio and television. Love the industry, hated the hours. After I had my preemie son, I just decided I didn't want to work no more. Like, I didn't want to work for anybody. I wanted to work because that's just in me to work. But I didn't want to report because I wanted time freedom. So the only reason I looked at a home-based business was because I wanted time freedom. I actually enjoyed what I did. So my degrees paid off. So I enjoyed it. I love the activities. I love the people that I could meet in television and radio. I love all the events. I mean, I love the experience. And I'm here in Atlanta, so it was just great. I just didn't like the hours after I had my son, and I decided, hey, I need to find something else. So I went on this quest looking for home-based businesses. This is how I know you don't talk to everybody. I was looking for home-based businesses. I was Googling everything. No one had ever spoke to me about any business. Okay. No one ever spoke to me about any network marketing, direct sales, social retail, whatever, insurance, app, like whatever. No one has ever spoken to me about anything at that time, which was years ago. And I was like, oh, what am I going to do? And because I like to decorate, I was like, oh, I'll just start a business decorating. And so I came up with a little company name. And, the people around me was like, that's not a good name, but I didn't care. I'm the person, I'm like, okay, I'm going with it. And so I did start decorating people's homes, like their bathrooms, their guest room. I was getting little clients, nothing to leave my full-time job. But I was like, this is good. I love, even today, I just love decorating. I love it. I love it. I love it. And so I was like, this is going to be great because I was already open to the possibility. And so shortly after that, the first person that spoke to me about a direct sales business, I got started because I was already open. I wanted to hear the opportunity. I wanted another option. She was solving my problem to get time freedom. And so what I would urge you to do is talk to everybody, because people might assume, yes, I did enjoy working in television and radio, and they might, oh, she's already, where she wants to be. She's in her dream job, but I didn't have it all. And I'm the type of person, I'm gonna need to have it all. If I'm gonna live this life one time, why not? Like, so I was like, oh, there's a way you could still earn an executive level income, work for yourself, and have your own schedule. Where? That was me. I was like, I've never heard anybody being successful in this level, right? Not just making extra money, but earning an executive level income, 6 and 7 figures from home. Like, I just assumed you had to work in corporate America. And so when that person, oh, bless her, so she will be forever somebody that I speak highly of, that she had the courage to talk to me. And so she took me to this meeting, and at a nice hotel. At first, let me just tell you, at first I denied coming the appointment time because my son was sick. Now, mind you, the reason why I was looking was because of my son, because he had some issues, right? And so she booked me for an appointment. And that day, my son was ill. And she called and I said, hey, I'm going to need to reschedule. You can call me back another time, but my son is ill. And she said, I already booked this conference room at this hotel. Is there anybody else that can take care of him? And I was like, no. Now, my husband could have. So this is how you got to make sure you're following up. You're asking the right questions, because you don't know. You might be recruiting a Jerusha. You don't know who you are talking to, right? You don't know the hunger of people. So she said, is there any way, which is a great overcoming objection, and that's what we're going to talk about today. She was like, could you get somebody else to take care of him? And I was like, no, I could get my husband, but I'm not. Like, I need to be there. So I was the crazy parent. So just so y'all know a little bit about me, my first son, I was cuckoo. Like, I was so, like, he was an angel. No one in the world can touch him. No one can care for him. No one can do anything but me. And on top of it, being that he was a preemie and he was on a heart monitor, and just, I was just like, he's so precious. He's like 3 pounds. And then he lost weight. I'm like, oh God. And so I was overprotective, because I was just like, oh, this is my little angel. And so when she said, can somebody else care for him? I was like, no, only I can. And so I said, but you feel free to call me back another time to reschedule. Well, of course, I didn't go that time. She did call me back. I don't know if it was a couple of days. I can't remember. And so we rescheduled. And so when she rescheduled, this is why you got to follow up and overcome objections. So she rescheduled. I came in, beautiful hotel here in Atlanta. They had a conference room. All of these sharp professionals were walking down the stairs, going into business conference rooms, and I'm just like, wow, what are these people doing? I was so intrigued, right? Because I was used to my corporate environment. And so she said, hey, introduced me to some people, whatever. And I was like, okay, what are their backgrounds? What do they do? And so I got the information, and sitting in the information, I knew I was going to get started, because I needed a way out. And this sounded like a good plan. And it wasn't a startup company. Nothing's wrong with startup companies. It's been around for years. And I was like, all right, if these people are successful, I can do it. And so I didn't have any hesitation. I didn't need to ask anybody for permission. I didn't care who was doing it, who wasn't doing it, who did it before. None of it mattered, because she was solving my problem. So, of course, I came out of the meeting. And she said, is there any reason why, we can't move forward, or whatever the question was? And I said, I just needed to talk to my husband. And so this other lady came up, which is probably like her upline. So for you, like your upline, your mentor, or whoever, your recruiter, this other lady came up, and she says, yes, so what's the problem? Can we not get started? And I said, oh, I'm gonna just need to talk to my husband for a second, And she was like, oh, I don't need to talk to my husband to make $100 decision. Now, I didn't like that. Now, to this day, I remember it. And that was like years ago. And so I was like, girl, she doesn't know who she's talking to. And so I said, well, it's not about asking him for, to get started. We are a partnership. So I'm not going to make any moves without, figuring out how this is going to work out. But in my mind, I knew I was going to get started, and I knew I'm about to be successful. I'm about to crush this thing. And so she walked off, and the girl that recruited me, her name is Kathy. She was like, just, take your time, talk to your husband, just call me back. She was really nice. And so that was that. It was so funny. So by the time I got into the car, I was like, oh, babe, guess what? I'm getting ready to start a business. I'm getting ready to do this with these people at this hotel. Da, 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 da. And so he said, well, did you get started? I said, no. I told her I wanted to make sure that we could talk, mainly because my son, right, was priority. And I needed to figure out, if I'm at this meeting that you say I need to come to, that I have care for my son, which is my husband, right? Nobody else can take care of him. So we were making sure that we were tag teaming to care for my son. And that person, that other lady, she didn't know that. She thought it was about money. It wasn't about money. It was about making sure that the reason I'm even doing this is to make sure I have the proper care for him. And so that's why also you probably need to ask questions to find out why people are not moving forward, right? Because usually it's a question that hasn't been answered. Sometimes it's money. I would say sometimes it's money, right? In my situation, it wasn't. It was just I needed to work out some things. And had she asked more questions other than you want to get started, she would have figured out a little bit more about me. And so I would urge you to just really try and get to know the people that you want to be partners with, because this way they feel comfortable talking to you. But at any rate, I crushed it, became a part of the 1% of that company, crushed it. And so all the rest is history. And so what I want to just tell you, one of the things that I've learned to do over the years, I've trained thousands, and I've worked with the best of the best. I'm so blessed that I'm able to work with the best of the best in our industry. But what I found is overcoming objections is really hard for a lot of people. And usually it's the same ones over and over. And so one of the ones that always really stopped a lot of people from pursuing that person is I don't know. It's not, I don't know. I don't know if I'm interested. Let's say that. When people tell you, if you have a business, you're in network marketing, direct sales, you have an opportunity that you're offering them, and the person says, I don't know if I'm interested. Usually that stops most people because they don't know what to say next. Now, if you follow me, I'm a script person. I like to hear what you're going to say, and then I can learn to make it my own. And so when people used to say, you better write this down, here's your business tip. So if someone said to me, I don't know if I'm interested in blank company. I don't know if I'm interested in blank cosmetics. I don't know if I'm interested in blank health and wellness product. I don't know if I'm interested in blank jewelry. Like when people say that, what do you say? And so here are some one-liners that you can use that work very well. I became like a professional question asker. Like you just need to ask a lot of questions because you don't know. As soon as you answer what they need, they will probably move forward unless it's money, and you probably can solve that too. So here's a good thing. Ask her or him, what does that mean to you? Because they haven't heard your business plan. They haven't heard the opportunity, right? They don't know enough information to make an informed decision. So you want to say, what does that mean to you? They say, I'm not interested in blank company. What does that mean to you? Because obviously they have some type of perception. They know something, heard something, but it wasn't from you. So they might not have the right information. So ask, what does that look like for you? That's another way to say it. I don't know if I want to sell lashes. I don't know if I have the network of people, who would buy lashes. I don't wear lashes, whatever your product is. Have you heard this before? And you get stuck. You're like, well, she said she doesn't like lashes. She said she doesn't want to sell lashes. She said she doesn't have a network of people who might like lashes, and you don't know what to say. First of all, I always ask people at this point, if someone says, I don't like to sell, you don't want to be an entrepreneur. Look, you just go back, reevaluate. You don't want to be an entrepreneur if you don't want to sell, period. So we don't even have a conversation because you got to want to sell to be an entrepreneur. All entrepreneurs sell something: product, service, opportunity, book. You sell something, right? So first of all, we got to make sure we're on the same page with that. So write this down. People want to be heard and validated. If you remember, it's about the person, not about you getting a new team member, not about you getting a new business partner. And so, what I like to tell people is, I hear you, because they really just want to be heard. They don't want you to try to sell them. They want to be sold to, but they don't want to feel like you're selling, right? I hear you. I would not have considered this opportunity with my background in radio and television, my degrees. I would not have considered a home based business, a direct sales business, a network marketing business. So I hear you, right? You want to make sure you insert your accomplishments so they know you're powerful in your own right. This is a purposeful choice. I chose to build a home based business to spend time with my son the way that I wanted to, not the way that other people dictated I should. And so we all make choices. And so a lot of times people don't know that this is available, that you can have both. Now, obviously, since 2020, everyone knows. Well, since right before that, everyone knows, not everyone, but a lot of people know you will do very, very well working for yourself and utilizing social media. So here's another question. You got the first one right. Here's another way that you can talk to her. Do you want a better work-life balance? Because she's saying she doesn't know. Most people say no to what they don't know. Again, we haven't figured out what it is that she needs answered. It's probably just one question that you can answer and she'll move forward. So you can ask, do you think you're doing your life work right now? Most people are not doing their life work right now. They're not doing their passion work right now. They're working to pay bills. So if you're asking a great question, do you think you're doing your life work right now? The answer is no. 90% of people aren't doing their life work. They're working. Okay. So if you're asking, they're like, no, not really. I mean, I enjoy it. It pays the bills. You know, I get to travel. You know, I get to do things that I want. But are you doing your life work? Are you living the life that you've always dreamed of? Those are questions that you can ask because it allows people to think, well, I'm not really living it like I want to live it. Okay. But there's no reason why you can't. You don't have to have an or life. You can have an and life. And I'm successful. And I make my own schedule. And I get to travel the world. And I get to, invest in my boys' education. And you can have an and life. Most people think they have to choose. And so you can like your job and still create residual income. I think when people say, I like my job, that's great. But is it your life work? Is it your passion project? Are you making residual income on top of what you do full time? Just ask questions. So when I say I hear you, I liked my job at CNN News, but I wasn't leaving a legacy sitting in an office. I did well, but I wasn't leaving a legacy. And that's a big deal for me. So I'm asking people, I don't know if leaving a legacy is important to you, but I know when I worked for CNN News, I wasn't leaving a legacy. So you can ask yourself right now, with what you're doing, will that allow you to have the financial freedom that you want and long-term wealth for your family? If it doesn't mean you don't like what you're doing. It just means you might need to figure out something else to do on top of what you're doing. That's it. Here's another good question that you can ask. Do you have everything that you've ever dreamed of? Because this may not be for you. People assume if I want to get you educated about my opportunity, because I am developing 100 new business partners like right now, like 100 new business partners. And just got a new team member today. I'm so excited for my new business partner. Anyway, so do you have everything that you've ever dreamed of? Because this may not even be a fit. But if you don't get educated, you don't even know what you're saying no to. And I've always believed that let me just figure it out. Let me understand why I'm saying no. And so we're exactly where we are based on how much we know. And so it's very important for you to get educated. And so now she's going to say, not everything, because she didn't have everything that she wants, right? There are a lot of people that do. And understand, if everybody in your circle is struggling, you got to find a different circle. Okay. Okay. So it's raining and thundering, and I think it just went off. So I don't know where I left off. I don't know what you heard. Oh man. But I just wanted to make sure that you knew that there are ways that you can overcome objections and still be super successful, because a lot of times if you're adding team members, they just don't understand or they have a question or two. So hopefully you got the point. I don't know what's wrong with the internet today, but that's okay. Please make sure a couple of things, and I'll wrap up with this. Make sure you sign up for the